Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to night number 84 of the overnight feed recaps for Big Brother season 25. Hope y'all are doing fantastic. All right, let me just start off by saying this. How can you have a day and an evening so boring and so interesting at the same time? Because we certainly had a little bit of both. There was a lot of downtime, a lot of just stuff going on. It's like, whatever. But we had a few conversations that were certainly worth talking about, waiting for the other shoe to drop, so to speak, after a few of those. And we got some resolution as well. And today could be a lot of fun as well. So we'll talk about all of that. First of all, as a bit of a refresher, Jag is HOH. He also won the veto, did not use it. So we've got America and Blue on the block. Come Thursday, Blue almost certainly going home. Even after everything that happened yesterday, I think Blue's still going home. Can I say real quick, though, we did have the TV episode yesterday. It finally showed the HOH, or the veto competition that was held, taking a bunch of slides and figuring out the chronological order of which happened when, using the former house guest and different events and all. It was really a cool competition. I wish they'd had something like that during my season. I love those kind of puzzle type comps, and that was certainly a good one. So Jag won it. Didn't matter because he didn't use it. Blue and America on the block, and from that we get all kinds of conversations. So let's just get right into it because it started off early yesterday. Yeah, Jag wasn't even awake yet. Here's one thing that y'all may or may not know: the lights in the Big Brother house, you can't control them. You have to just beg Big Brother, please turn the lights off. I want to go to bed. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. Lights on or off are completely up to Big Brother, except up in the HOH room. And that's one of the perks that you get up there, is that you actually do have a light switch. You can turn it on or off when you want. If you try to turn it off from 10 to 10 when you're supposed to be awake, sometimes they'll call you out. But you do have a little bit more flexibility first thing in the morning for when you want to actually get up out of bed and such. Well, we had that happen yesterday. Everyone else had already been, wakey house guest. Everyone else had already been kind of woken up. Jag is still up there relaxing. The lights are off. Well, Felicia's got some important stuff to talk about. Felicia gets up early. I'm sure she sat there for hours figuring out how she was going to tell Jag information. She can't stand it any longer. She goes in, she wakes up Jag. He said, I haven't even put my contacts on. And he makes a quick pit stop at the restroom before he finally comes back in, still half tired. Felicia just can't wait to give him the news. So what is so important that she just has to spill to him? She says, I wanted to tell you last night, it was too late, so I'm doing it first thing this morning. She is saying that telling Jag that Cirie told her last night that she and Matt had talked. Cirie and Matt had talked, and it was all about the best time to take out Jag, that Matt is on board to take out Jag. The question really was whether it was just going to be at the double eviction or if they would wait to the final five, which is right after the double eviction. I keep having to remind myself of that, but the whole conversation was from Matt about, do I take out Jag this Thursday or do I wait to final five to actually take him out? But she's saying she's talking about it. Cirie's talking about it. Matt's talking about it. You need to know that these two are gunning for you, Jag. She's saying that Matt told Cirie that Matt does not want to sit next to Jag in the very end. He doesn't think he can beat Jag, and that Cirie does not want to take this shot necessarily. That Cirie doesn't like to do the work herself. But Felicia's saying Cirie doesn't want to do it, but she's obviously trying to get Matt to do it. She's talking to him about when he should do it and all of that. She's just throwing both of them under the bus to Jag. She's also telling Jag that Cirie wants to force a tie vote in this upcoming vote on Thursday. 2 for Blue, 2 for America, to force Jag to make the final vote, get the blood on his hands. So Cirie's wanting to make sure that Jag gets the blame on that vote as well. So Felicia just spilling the beans, throwing everyone under the bus that she possibly can to Jag, and certainly, and Jag's just like, oh, really? Wow. Oh, okay. He's caught a little off guard by that. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. Jag is also wondering if Cirie is lying to Felicia just to get her to vote to save Blue. All right, let me re-say that. He's wondering as with regards to this tie vote, he's asking Felicia, saying, is it possible that Cirie is saying that she wants to have a tie vote, but then she's actually going to still vote to save America? So then here you are, Felicia, the only person that votes to save Blue, and they'll use that as a way to throw you under the bus. Next thing you know, you're on the block. Now America's mad at you. Blue still goes home. America's mad at you. America makes sure to target you as a result. So he's saying, could that be it? Does she maybe not really want a tie vote? She's just trying to throw you under the bus, Felicia. So he is bringing that up as a possibility also. Felicia is also saying that Cirie wants to hold off telling Blue that she's going home, that it's just going to create more chaos and pandemonium, all of that. Jag saying that he's probably going to tell her today. And when I say today, I'm talking our today, Wednesday. This happened last night. So he says, I'm going to tell her tomorrow. So talking about maybe telling her today. And he's going to say that everyone has been on this plan from the very beginning, including Cirie. So he's letting Felicia know he's not going to let Cirie try to slide and not get some blame for this thing by doing this tie vote, if that's truly what she's planning on doing. So yeah, a lot of conversations with that. Felicia then drags a little bit later. Felicia says, look, I want to get Matt and Jag up here as well. Matt and Cirie up here a little bit as well to talk about this tie vote. And Jag's like, hey, okay, fine, whatever. So she goes down. She actually gets Cirie and Matt, takes them up as well. I was expecting all kinds of fireworks. Not a house meeting, but certainly an interesting meeting of these four if all of this information came to light. Well, not so much. She gets them up there. Cirie is questioning, saying, Blue keeps telling me about this final five. Why does she think that she's got a final five? What's going on here? Jag is saying, I think it's probably just old stuff. She's still thinking about earlier when we were all working together. She assumes that that's still the case, and I hadn't told her differently. But yeah, she's not a final five. She's going home, Cirie. So they're talking about that a little bit. They do talk a little bit about whether or not they should tell Blue that she's the target, that she's going home. Eventually, Jag says, yeah, I am going to tell her that she's going. I'm not going to wait. It's when I tell her, but I am going to tell her. I'm not going to blindside her come Thursday night. And that's about it. I really thought there was going to be a lot more to this meeting, but Felicia didn't bring it up. Jag didn't bring it up. Props to them for not bringing it up. I'm not sure that quick that it was a good thing. Yeah, probably sit on it, think about it, repercussions, bring it up perhaps a little bit later. But no one says a word. But certainly now Jag is aware that something's afoot. Whether it's Felicia that's telling the lies, whether it's Cirie telling the lies. And we'll have some conversations about that a little bit later. But Felicia's thrown Matt and Cirie absolutely under the bus with this particular conversation. All right, we've got Blue and America and Bowie Jane talking about Corey and Jared. At one point, I think Bowie comes into the kitchen, tells Cirie and Felicia, says, we got Bachelor Nation or something going on in the scary room, because Blue and America and Bowie are all talking in there about dating and everything. Bowie's talking about how she wants someone that'll work out with her and then go out for drinks and all of that. And America's talking a lot about Corey. Yeah, she's got a shrine to Corey with the last things he touched and things like that in that one bedroom. But they're talking about that a little bit. America does say that Corey joked about proposing to her on finale night. Yeah, I really hope we don't have any proposals from anyone on finale night. I don't want to see Jared proposing to Blue. I don't want to see Corey proposing to America. Well, we don't need any of that this season. But she's joking about it. She's saying, if he did it, I'd say yes. I hope we don't see that. Swaggy and Bailey did it, and they're still together, so obviously it works. There's showmances that turn into much more, but we'll leave it alone. Learn to live with each other outside the house before you start doing that. My own personal opinion, but she's talking about that. They're joking about it a little bit, and they're having fun with it. Did I tell you how boring it was yesterday, except for a few conversations? All right, we've got Jag actually talking to the camera, trying to digest the impact of what Felicia has just told to him. Jag is saying, well, let's see, let's look at the pros and the cons. He is a little bit worried that with this 2-2 tie vote that's being talked about, he's saying, all right, well, based on that, if Felicia and Cirie voted to save Blue, is there a chance that they could then grab Bowie Jane and or Matt, flip one or both of them, and suddenly Blue stays? Now Blue's mad at me, and everything kind of goes out the door in terms of what I've been playing. So he's a little bit worried about that. The fact he vocalizes that suggests to me that he's at least thinking that maybe Matt has talked a little bit or is considering getting him out. It's got to be something he's thought about. So that's the con, is that maybe it could crater everything. Blue stays in the house. But he's also thinking that a 2-2 tie vote may actually be good for him in a way, because yes, Blue's going to be upset. She's going to blame him. He talks later about maybe that cost him a jury vote. He says, but on the other hand, if it comes down to 2-2, I have to decide, and I send Blue out the door. He says, what's that going to show to America? It's going to show America that I'm the one that saved her, and hopefully that pulls her in even closer to me so that she won't come after me if she was to win HOH. So in some ways, it may actually be to my benefit if they do that. Now, we saw in the TV episode yesterday, America saying, I don't care what I promised to Matt and Jag. If I get the chance, I'm sending him out the door. So he is right to be worried about America. And maybe if it was a 2-2 vote, would that sway America? Would she then feel more comfortable working with Jag? Could this actually work to his advantage, as he is thinking maybe it could? First of all, you got to get to the tie vote. And I'm still not sure that's necessarily going to happen just yet. But he is seeing the silver lining in this potentially happening. All right, we've got Felicia and Cirie talking to one another. I think they're sitting there at the kitchen table, whispering and talking a little bit. Felicia's asking if Matt was serious about taking out Jag and Cirie, about taking out Jag. And Cirie says, yeah, I kind of think he was when he talked about it. Cirie's also saying, God, please don't say anything to him. Don't let him say something while you're in the room. Don't be saying anything to him, or he'll be upset that I told you and all that. But she's saying, but yeah, I think he was serious when he mentioned that. Cirie's saying, I think the big question from Matt isn't, does he want to take a shot at Jag? It's, when does he want to take that shot at Jag? So again, she's just giving Felicia more ammo for Felicia to potentially work with. She's also asking Felicia, as I said, she's asking Felicia not to say anything, let Matt say it, so that Felicia can't, so Cirie doesn't get blamed for passing on this information. All right, we've got Bowie and Jag talking a little bit. Jag is saying that Felicia had told him that Bowie had told her that Bowie was just waiting for Final Five to take a shot at Matt and Jag. So again, Felicia throwing Bowie Jane under the bus as well, saying, yeah, she said that you're talking about that you maybe not do it now, but at Final Five that you're going to go after Jag and I, or Matt and I. And Bowie's saying, no, that's not true. She said, Final Three. I'm Final Three with you two guys. I don't want anything else. That's what I want going forward. Jag says, that's what I want as well. I don't think that Jag's necessarily buying that particular statement. I think he knows that Bowie probably does want to stay with the two of them for a while, or to the end, to the Final Three, as she said. He is telling Bowie Jane about this split vote situation that has come up, that there could be that possibility. She's confirming that, yeah, I want Blue gone. I'm not going to flip and all of that, but it still could be a tie vote. Jag is saying, let them do it. If they want to do it, force a tie vote. He said, yeah, I will lose Blue's jury vote perhaps, but they're going to lose all trust with America if they do it as well. And Bowie Jane brings up an interesting point. She says, well, yeah. And she says, the other thing is, doesn't matter about the jury vote if neither one of them are there to gain the benefit of that jury vote, and they're not going to be there anyway. So whatever. It works to Blue's, or to Bowie Jane's advantage. Blue potentially could be more upset with Jag now, and if Bowie Jane just happened to be sitting there next to Jag, well, maybe she gets Blue's vote. So yeah, she's saying, yeah, whatever. They're not going to make it to Final Two anyway, so let Blue do whatever. So she's pointing that out. Bowie is pointing out, again, they aren't making the Final Two anyway. They're both agreeing that they do need to break up Felicia and Cirie, the mamas. They can't let them go too much further into this game. Jag is thinking that maybe they don't do it immediately. He's saying, if we voted out Felicia right now, there's too much of a chance that you could then have Cirie and Blue and America form a group of three against the three of us, and that would create issues. He said, so probably not immediately. He said, let's get out Blue, then probably at that point, we then get out America, and then we can break up the two mamas at that point, one way or the other, doesn't matter, but we'll break them up at that point. And so they've kind of, I think, agreed to that. But at one point during a conversation, they also mentioned saying, keeping America as a Final Four could be tempting. Do we make a move a little bit quicker against Felicia and Cirie and hold on to America just a bit longer? At the end of it, seems like they're back to saying, no, we need to get rid of America. Then we'll split the two ladies up. We'll see how it goes. We've still got a few more decisions to be made before that point in time. All right, we've got Matt and Felicia talking to one another. They're talking about Blue being in a Final Three with both Matt and Jag, and also being in a Final Three with Felicia and Cirie, and talking to Bowie Jane about the two of them being alone and really needing to work with each other. So Matt and Felicia both are saying that Blue's trying to do a lot of relationships. She's kind of sneaky. She's a huge threat to the game. We have got to get her out of here. Matt is saying that America is much less likely to win a competition and therefore much less likely to go after them and break them up. And so they have agreed that Blue really needs to be the target going forward, that Blue needs to be going home this week. So as much as they've talked about split votes and all of that, at least in talking to Matt, Felicia seems to be on board with going ahead, voting out Blue and just calling it a day and having that done. Matt does say at one point, and this will come up a little bit later, Matt tells Felicia, says, my Final Five boot would be Bowie Jane. Felicia asked him, said, who would you do at Final Five? Yeah, I know what we're doing right now and all that. Who would you do at Final Five? And he says, well, probably Bowie Jane is who I'd get. I don't believe that, but that's what he tells Felicia. All right, we've got Felicia and Jag talking a little bit. Felicia saying that she talked to Matt and repeating what he said, that Bowie Jane would be his target at Final Five. And she says, based on that, if that's the case, I'm not sure why Cirie would then be claiming that Matt was coming after you, Jag. She said that Matt wanted to take you out either now or at the Final Five, but I just got through talking to him and he didn't say anything. He says he's going after Bowie Jane. So I don't know why Cirie is saying this. It's not making any sense at all. So she's still pushing this agenda that Cirie is maybe spinning things and really the problem in this situation. Felicia's wondering also if maybe Matt and Cirie maybe have something in place, that they've got some kind of little final two of some agreement. They know that they're tight with one another. And so maybe they got something going on. Maybe that's part of everything that's going on. But Felicia just says something sneaky's going on. It's just not making sense that Matt told me that, and then he would have told Cirie something else. I'm just not getting it. All right, we do have America and Bowie Jane wondering what Felicia and Cirie would do if they won HOH again. America and Bowie talking. Now, what would Felicia and Cirie do if they got HOH? America says that she doesn't think they'd put up one of the guys by themselves. So she really thinks it's got to be either one of two different choices, that America would either put up Matt and Jak together, or that she would put up Bowie Jane and America. I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, to either be the two of them going up on the block if American Boy, wonder what Felicia and Cirie would do if they won HOH. All right, yeah. Let me repeat that. Sometimes my notes in the middle of the night are a little rough. Let me just start over. America and Bowie Jane wondering what Felicia and Cirie would do if they won HOH. And they think they would either put up Matt and Jag together, or they would put up America and Bowie Jane. So there is a possibility. I just don't know which way Felicia and Cirie are going to go at this point in time. There we go. All right. Cirie telling Felicia that she can't wait. That she can't wait for Felicia to meet her boy. So Cirie's she's having fun with this whole idea that Jared was in there telling Felicia, you're going to love my boys. I can't wait for you to meet them. Felicia's going to be shocked. And I'm still shocked that Blue isn't going to use this as ammo as she walks out the door. Maybe that's one of the reasons that Cirie is trying to work so closely with Blue right now. Cirie knows that Blue is probably going home, and yet Cirie is still trying to talk to her and saying, you need to do this, try to do this. I'm trying to help you out, Blue. I assume she's doing it for jury management, and she probably is. But there may also be a little bit of a fear that if she, for any reason, does not stay on Blue's good side, that Blue could spill the beans as she walks out the door. We'll see. Is there a way that Blue could get upset with Cirie if she walks out, says, Cirie and Jared are mother son, right? And how would that affect Cirie's game going forward? We'll have to watch on Thursday. But yeah, she's telling Felicia, can't wait for you to meet my boys. Well, guess what? Cirie's also talking a little bit about the fact that they really need to tell Blue. She does not want to have her blindsided. And again, maybe that's one of the reasons. But she's also saying it's not just that we tell Blue, but we need to tell Blue that she's going home before anyone else does. Let us be the one to break the news to her so that we don't get any blame whatsoever. If we wait and Jag tells her, is Blue then going to think that we were trying to keep it a secret or something? We need to tell her first, make sure we spin it the way we want it to be spun. So it could be a race today to see who tells Blue this information first. And yeah, it's going to be a fun day. All right, we've got Matt and Jag talking, comparing notes a little bit. Matt is saying that Felicia was talking at one point about maybe saving Blue this week, sending America out the door, but he convinced her that Blue really needs to go first, referencing conversation we just talked about. Jag is thinking that if it is a 2-2 split vote, America would probably put up Felicia and Cirie if she is then saved and she wins HOH. So there could be some benefit to it, that she would go after Felicia and Cirie if those were the two votes against America. I'm not sure. She may still go after Matt and Jag, regardless of the situation, especially if Cirie and Felicia have a chance to talk to America and try to spin the whole vote their way. Because they talked a little bit about saying, let's try to make it sound like that Jag wanted us to make this vote so that he could come in and be the savior and protect you, America. And it was all his idea to create the split vote. So there's a possibility they could spin it their own direction as well. But Jag is saying, yeah, it could be that America will go after Felicia and Cirie if we have this split vote. Jag is asking if Cirie maybe talked to Matt at some point about trying to take Jag out. Maybe a discussion about taking me out at double eviction or at final five. Matt, did she say anything like that? And Matt saying, no, that's playing dumb. Saying, no, she never said anything to me about that at all. At which point Jag is telling Matt about Felicia's information, that she had said, that Cirie had said, that Matt had said that he was looking at taking Jag out at final five or at the double eviction. So he's letting Matt know everything that Felicia has told him. Matt's denying it all, saying, why would she do that? No, I never said any of that. It's you and me. It's not any different. Now she's just, someone's making it up. Matt is saying, I'm not sure if it's Cirie or Felicia who's doing the lying. I don't know if Cirie told Felicia that or if Felicia just made it up. He said, but I never told Cirie that. One or the other is lying about that whole situation. Jag is thinking that it's probably more likely that Cirie is the one doing the lying to Felicia. He's saying she already sold us out. Well, remember, that was Felicia spilling the beans as well, saying that Cirie had said that she had told Blue that she was a target. But he's saying Cirie already sold us out once. I think it's probably most likely that Cirie is the one lying right now. Matt, on the other hand, is saying, well, I don't know. He's saying, I think it's very possible that Felicia made it up. So perhaps she said it so that it would then make me want to take a shot at Cirie because Felicia knows that I'm tight. And so maybe she made that up about Cirie just to try to drive a wedge between me and Cirie. So there's a little bit of still disagreement between Matt and Jag about who is to blame for this whole situation. Again, Matt's always been a little tighter with Cirie. Jag maybe feels a little bit tighter with Felicia, and it's influencing who they want to believe. But at one point, Matt actually tells Jag, says, look, I knew this was going to happen. You should know it as well. They're trying to put things between us. They're trying to create conflict between us because that's just their way to weaken us. And it's an intentional thing they're trying to do at this point in time. So yeah, they do have the discussion. And Matt says at one point, That again, that maybe Felicia did it just as a way for him to take a shot at Cirie. And Jag responds that I just don't understand why the entire house trusts Cirie. He says the very beginning, Riley was all on board trusting Cirie, and he said because Riley trusted her, we just all joined in and trusted her as well. And so I think Jag's starting to see through the magic that is Cirie's social game, and maybe seeing that there's a little bit more beyond what you see. So yeah, he's certainly upset with Cirie at this point. Mad a little bit more Felicia, but they just don't know who's most to blame. Does it matter at this point in time? As long as the two of them stay comfortable with each other, they'll take them out eventually on down the road, potentially anyway. All right, we have everyone but America playing a story game. One person tells a story, and then someone else adds to the story, and then someone else adds to it. I've done this, my family, my kids, and all. We've done this many a time. Well, they're doing it in the HOH house, and they need to work on their storytelling skills just a little bit. But they're doing what they can. They're as bored as we are at some points that yesterday. All right, America is asking Matt and Jag at one point. She said, "So what? I know y'all want to save me. I believe you, and I'm grateful and all that." She says, "But what happens after that? After you save me, then what are y'all's plans going forward?" Well, they aren't real quick to come up with an answer, and she calls them out on it. She says, "I know you've talked about it. There's no way you haven't talked about what you're going to do on the other half of the double. So what are your plans after you save me?" And they eventually said, probably Felicia and Cirie would go up. Well, of course, they're not going to say America. They're not going to say Bowie Jane. So they say the only thing that's left to say. The fact they were a little hesitant in throwing that out there, if I'm America, that's making me a little bit nervous as well. From that, it turns into a bit of a disagreement on whether or not the Felicia and Cirie would go after each other. I think Matt thinks they would. Jag doesn't think they would, but wondering. I have a feeling if the two of them are on the block together, they're going to turn on each other. You're going to have all kinds of information coming out and all kinds of finger pointing. That could be fun watching that as well. All right, we've got Matt talking to Cirie, telling her everything that Felicia told to Jag. Jag told to Matt, and now Matt is telling Cirie. Cirie, suitably in shock, amazed at what's being revealed that's been told. Now, unfortunately, most of it's true. Most of what's being revealed, she did talk to Felicia about. Felicia spun it a little bit more. Things like the warning Blue that she's the target. We saw in the TV episode, it was strictly Cirie hugging Blue, saying, "You need to win this thing." Felicia made it sound like it was much more calculated, saying you're going up, and it wasn't really that. But for the most part, most of what is being brought back to Cirie actually did talk about. But don't let facts get in the way. She is very amazed. She's saying that she did not say anything to Felicia about all this stuff. Felicia is just making all this stuff up. She grabs a Bible, puts her hand on it. She says, "Felicia told me, Matt." She says, "This was based on, I guess, like over a month ago, that you had told Felicia at one point about, that maybe you would have to take a shot at some point against Jag at maybe Final Five or somewhere at that point in time." She said, "Like a month ago that Felicia mentioned that to me. And I never said anything at all about it. This is Felicia that's going what you said way back then and trying to spin this and carry it over to Jag." And she keep putting her hand on that Bible. I swear this isn't anything going on. Matt's also mentioning about this idea that Cirie had told Blue that she was a target, that she had to win veto during the veto competition. And again, it was spun a lot more than it actually was. There may have been a little bit more to this conversation. They are such masters at whispering. And I think it's because Cirie can be incredibly quiet as long as Matt's reading her lips. She didn't even have to whisper. So it was hard to pick up what she was saying. He was facing away from the cameras. It made it difficult from both directions. But that's the crux of it, is that he has told her everything that Jag has informed him. She's denying it all, swearing none of it's taken place. She also says, "I'm going to act normal. I'm not going to bring it up to Felicia, at least not now. I'm just going to pretend like everything's perfect. We'll deal with it later." I'm waiting for that later. That's going to be fun. All right, we've got Matt then going right back up to Jag and saying, "Hey, I talked to Cirie. she denied everything. She said none of that happened, that it's all just Felicia making this stuff up. Jag is worried, though, that Matt went and talked to Cirie. He says, this is really going to affect my game. He says, because now Cirie's going to tell Felicia. Felicia is then going to be mad at me that I told you, because then you told Cirie and then she told Felicia. So Felicia's going to be mad at me. She's not going to trust me anymore, which now means if Felicia wins HOH, she very well is going to put me on the block, and perhaps you as well, Matt. But it's kind of completely screwed up my game that Cirie now knows this information. And Matt saying, well, she's not going to tell Felicia. And Jack saying, yeah, I think she's going to tell Felicia, and I'm in trouble. But Matt saying, I don't think so. He says, but I am sorry maybe for being a little bit sloppy, but I absolutely believe Cirie and everything she just told me. And Jack says, you don't need to be sorry, but just we're playing each other's game. Things you do affect me and vice versa. And we just be careful. And he tells Matt, says, just be careful about what you try to talk to Cirie about. She's playing the game as well. So they have that. Well, at that point, Matt goes back to talk to Cirie a little bit and says, look, Jag does not want you telling Felicia any of what I just got through telling you. Please do not tell her. And Cirie again saying, no, I'm not going to say anything. Cirie, though, does want to tell Jag that Felicia is spiraling. And the reason that she's spiraling, and maybe the reason that she's doing all this, is because Cirie's pretty certain it's because Felicia had heard from Blue. Originally, she'd heard that Bowie Jane would have been a replacement if the veto had been used on Monday. But then she heard from Blue that Jag's plan had been to put up Felicia if he had chosen to use a veto. And because she knows that she could have been on the block, she's wanting to do a little extra to try buying, and she thinks that's what's leading all the spiraling. So she would like to tell Jag that, give a reason to Jag about why Felicia is making all this stuff up and doing all this stuff that's going on. And so sure enough, we get Cirie eventually going up to talk to Matt and Jag. Cirie is saying that Felicia had told her that Jag had agreed to this split vote idea, and that let Jag then use the tiebreaker to make the decision. She's saying that in reality, though, Felicia wants to force a split vote so that Jag would have to use the tiebreaker and get blood on his hands. And Jag saying, well, Felicia, when she talked to me, she acted like it was you that was putting this plan in place. It was your idea to have this split vote and not hers. And Cirie saying, no, it was her idea. I'm just going along with it. She said, I'd rather have a unanimous vote. I don't want that stuff. Cirie's denying it all, saying that it just wouldn't make sense for her to try to do something like that. And they ask her, say, well, how do you want to vote? She said, I want a unanimous vote. I'm going to vote Blue out. Yeah, none of that's true. It was all Cirie's plan, but of course she's not going to admit it here. She's pinning it all right back on Felicia. All right. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, we'll wrap it up here. While all this is going on, the other cameras are showing Felicia sleeping / snoring downstairs in the comic room. But at one point, it shows her wide awake, looking over to Cirie's bed, I guess wondering where Cirie is. Those rooms are so dark. You can't see anything, but maybe she can just, the fact she can't hear Cirie breathing or snoring herself or anything makes her realize she's not there, because a little bit later, she gets up, she walks around a little bit looking for Cirie, looks in the scary room, doesn't see her there, eventually gets back into bed. But obviously she knows that Cirie is somewhere. If she doesn't see her downstairs, could she be upstairs talking? So yeah, that's not going to help Felicia with her paranoia and concerns and everything anymore if she thinks that Cirie's up talking Matt and Jag at that point in time. So we'll see how that works out as well. And then finally, we've got Matt and Jag wrapping up at the end, deciding to tell Blue today, but they're not just going to tell Blue that she's a target. Now they got to make it a little bit more than that. They're going to tell Blue that she has been everyone's target, that everyone in the house agreed that it was going to be Blue, including Felicia and Cirie, that everyone wanted Blue out the door from the very beginning, that they tried everything possible to keep her, but it just wasn't going to work. They realized it wasn't going to work, and so Blue's going home. Blue is not going to buy that for a second. First of all, the fact that Cirie did say you need to win this thing, that Cirie's been trying to tell Blue ways and what to say to different people to stay in the house. Because of that, because Jag had the HOH and the veto, for him to say we couldn't stop it, I just don't think Blue's going to win it, buy that at all. The other thing for Matt and Jag to say we did everything possible is basically throwing Bowie Jane under the bus, because obviously Uh, if Matt's saying I wanted to keep you, well, then the only reason they wouldn't have been able to do so is if Bowie Jane was hardcore committed to sending Blue out the door. So yeah, they're throwing Bowie Jane under the bus a little bit by making this claim that supposedly they're going to do. Blue's not going to buy it at all. Blue said that if she finds out that the flip's going on and she's going out the door, she's going to be cursing at anyone and everyone involved with it. So I hope the censors are ready come Thursday night to see what discussions are had as the votes are made. It could be fun today as they tell her. Talk about spiraling. I think we may see a little spiraling take place today. So yeah, we'll see what happens with her. We'll see what happens with Felicia if she's getting even more suspicious of Cirie. The house is getting ready to blow up in a lot of ways. Maybe we even get a house meeting, which as a house guest, I never wanted a house meeting during my season. As a viewer, bring it on, baby. I'm ready for it. All right, guys, y'all have a fantastic Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow morning to tell you all the stuff that happens with this house that has suddenly become very messy. I hope so anyway. But y'all have a great Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, SKD143. Cheers, my friends.